Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Wednesday at noon and is uploaded to our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page to watch on demand. Today is July 24th, 2019. And now the News at Noon.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, authorities have identified a 16-year-old girl found dead after an ATV crash near Lemon Reservoir, but the cause of death remains unknown. La Plata County Coroner Jan Smith said Alyssa Fisher was found dead about 4.5 miles up a Forest Service road, but an autopsy Tuesday came back inconclusive. Smith said Alyssa was riding on an ATV on Friday, accompanied by her father, who was riding a dirt bike. Smith said Alyssa's father would ride up the trail, then wait for Alyssa to follow, but at some point, Alyssa didn't appear and her father was unable to locate her. Alyssa's father rode down the trail and alerted authorities his daughter was missing. She was later found down an embankment with the ATV on top of her, Smith said. Foul play is not suspected. Investigators remain uncertain if Alyssa suffered a medical issue that caused her to lose control of the ATV and crash. Smith said Alyssa did not show signs of significant physical trauma.
Reported in the Journal, Photo Jeremy Lawrence, DCSAR. Dolores County Search and Rescue again responded to unprepared tubers in distress on the Dolores River in Ponderosa Gorge. On July 18th, 3 non-resident adults in their 50s set out from Bradfield Bridge Recreation Area at 11 a.m. as the river was flowing at the rate of 79 cubic feet per second. They never arrived at the Dev Creek pumping station 19 miles downriver, reported Dolores County SAR Captain Keith Kiesling. On the morning of July 19th, the search team was deployed to begin a looking out for the missing party after concerned family members called the Dolores County Sheriff's Office for help. The Ponderosa Gorge averages 1,100 feet deep with no way to hike out. Search teams on ATVs went to the Dolores River overlook to scan with binoculars and search with a drone, but had no luck. They returned to headquarters for the rescue boat and gear for a possible overnight excursion. Other team members were positioned near power lines to facilitate communications. When a Flight for Life helicopter became available, Dolores County Sheriff Don Wilson requested its assistance. At this point, the tubers had been missing for 25 hours. The rescue helicopter found the stranded party on a second flyover of the river, then landed and picked them up, taking 2 trips. The tubers were only wearing shorts and t-shirts, had no outdoor gear, and had run out of water and food. They were exhausted and dehydrated after their unplanned overnight stay on the river lasted more than about 30 hours, Kiesling said, and all were medically cleared. Rescuers involved included Kiesling, Jeremy Lawrence, Ryan Delano, Kieran Husky, Rochelle King, Karen Keibel, and Megan Daves. On June 16th, a Flight for Life helicopter locating 6 Dolores County youths who were missing on the lower Dolores River had been used. The group had attempted to float the same Ponderosa Gorge section of the river on inner tubes the previous day from Bradfield Bridge. They had lashed the tubes together and some of the youths were not wearing life jackets. At that time, the section of the river was running at a high flow of 3,400 cubic feet per second. The teenagers ran into trouble when they lost a few of their inner tubes in a rapid about 9 miles into the trip. After walking along shore, they came upon a nice family that gave them food and invited them to stay overnight at their camp. Wilson called in a rescue helicopter and the youths were extracted by a Flight for Life helicopter that landed on the edge of the beach, its tail jutting out over the river. 3 flights were required to bring out all 6 people, as DCTV reported earlier last month. After 2 cases of stranded tubers during high and low flows, Dolores Search and Rescue advised caution, quote, "No more tubing, please. The river is now too low," Kiesling said.
From the Cortez Journal, the Mesa County Coroner says 55 residents died by suicide last year, the most in 5 years. The Grand Junction Daily Sentinel reported Monday that was 9 more than 2017 and 7 more than 2016. Coroner Victor Yan calls the increase disheartening. Yan's annual report on deaths in the county says nearly half of those who took their own lives had attempted to do so in the past or expressed thoughts about it. The report says 32% received mental health services and 13 didn't. It was unknown whether they had in 55% of the cases. Sarah Robinson of Mesa County Public Health said the report is one of several sources the organization looks at. She says the group will continue assessing data to determine whether it's meeting the public's needs.
You may have been enjoying the orange sunrises and sunsets, but although that is a glorious sight, it usually means somewhere in the area there is a large wildfire with the particles in the air making for the light refraction that we get to see as beautiful sunsets. Reported by the Journal, indeed, our haze may be coming from Flagstaff. Photo Jake Bacon, Arizona Daily Sun, and Debbie Wells from Facebook. Anxious residents packed up prized possessions by Tuesday as hundreds of firefighters worked to keep a wildfire in a forested Arizona city away from homes while they got help from the weather. About 24 homes have been evacuated in Flagstaff, a popular mountain getaway in the largest ponderosa pine forest in the U.S. No new evacuations were ordered, but residents of 5,000 homes were previously told they might have to leave. Governor Doug Ducey declared a state of emergency, freeing up $200,000 in state funding for the effort to battle the blaze in Coconino National Forest. The city and Coconino County issued emergency declarations a day earlier. People in Flagstaff peered through binoculars to get a closer look at the fire that sent plumes of smoke into air and ashes into yards. Helicopters buzzed overhead. Another wildfire was burning near a nuclear energy research site in Idaho, prompting the evacuation of non-essential employees, mainly because of wind changes and smoke. That fire had scorched about 132 square miles of desert near the center of the 890 square mile property away from the buildings that make up Idaho National Laboratory. Back in Arizona, fire crews said cooler weather, higher humidity, and much needed rain had worked in their favor, letting them intentionally burn areas on the north edge of the fire while hotspots cooled elsewhere. Officials had feared erratic winds might shift the direction of the fire. The storm sent water, ash, and debris into communities below. Meteorologist Darren McCullum says the runoff was expected to be more intense because of the wildfire. A federal team took over managing the fire late on Monday, bringing more resources to fight the blaze and making it a priority regionally, Incident Commander Rich Nieto said. Officials estimated the fire had charred about 2 square miles in a mountain pass that's a prime spot for recreation within minutes of downtown Flagstaff. Aerial mapping was planned overnight to get a more precise measurement. Nieto said the fire was about 10% contained. The Federal Emergency Management Agency intends to reimburse the state up to 75% of the money it spends on the fire, said Aaron Green of the Arizona Department of Forestry and Fire Management. He estimated the cost to be $10 million, not all of which is paid by the state. Officials say the fire was human-caused, but they haven't determined exactly what started it. In southwestern Utah, over the weekend, a wildfire south of the Abajos was being monitored, and a wildfire in dry grass destroyed a vacation home and a handful of outbuildings before being contained on Monday.
According to the Cortez Journal, with a photo by Jerry McBride, Mondorivoli, the real estate holding company of Durango restaurateur Jean-Pierre Blager, has filed for bankruptcy in U.S. bankruptcy court seeking reorganization under Chapter 11. Kenneth Buechler, attorney for Mondorivoli, said the bankruptcy will not affect the operation of Blager's restaurant, Jean-Pierre Bakery Cafe and Wine Bar. Mondorivoli is also seeking financing to pay off all its loans and creditors and consolidate debt with a new creditor, and if the new financing can be obtained, the bankruptcy petition would be dismissed, Buechler said. Another possibility, Buechler said, is refinancing the debt with creditors at lower interest rates. The bankruptcy petition was filed July 18th to stop foreclosures or collection actions while new financing was sought, Buechler said. Blager declined to comment for this story, directing questions to his attorney. A meeting with creditors will likely be held within the next 30 days, but a meeting has not yet been set, Buechler said. The case has been assigned to Judge Joseph Rosania of the U.S. Bankruptcy Court, District of Colorado in Denver. 5 properties, 4 in Durango, and a strip mall in Pagosa Springs are involved in the Chapter 11 filing. And now, let's take a look at the weather.
So it's been fairly hot this summer without any rain to speak of, and hopefully that's going to change this week. Today we have a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly this afternoon, partly sunny with a high near 84. South-southeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour switch to north-northwest by the afternoon. And tonight showers are likely and possibly a thunderstorm before 7 p.m. and then chance of showers, both showers and thunderstorms will happen mainly between 7 and 1 a.m. Mostly cloudy skies with a low around 59 degrees. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour shift east after midnight, and that chance of precipitation sits at 60%. And again, going into Thursday, a 50% chance for showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the afternoon, partly sunny with a high near 84 degrees. East winds around 5 miles an hour, becoming west-southwest in the afternoon. So we have light swirly winds into Thursday night. Again, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly before midnight, mostly cloudy skies with a low around 58. North winds around 5 miles an hour, becoming southeast in the evening. Though the temps may be a little lower, the humidity will make it feel a bit muggy. And Friday, now we have a chance for rain, tapering off a bit to just 30% for showers and thunderstorms, again mainly in the afternoon. Partly sunny with a high near 86 degrees. East winds around 5 miles an hour, becoming west in the morning. But then things roar back in again with a 50% chance for showers and thunderstorms into Friday night. Mostly cloudy with a low around 58 degrees. And Saturday, a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms remains, mainly looking at the afternoon, however, mostly sunny with a high near 85 degrees. And then Saturday night, still a chance of showers and thunderstorms lingers, mainly before midnight, mostly cloudy with a low around 57. And that may be the end of the rain pattern for now, as Sunday is looking to be sunny with a high near 86 degrees. Sunday night, partly cloudy with a low around 57. And next week starts off sunny for Monday with a high near 86 degrees. Monday night, partly cloudy with a low around 59. So we are still squarely into summer, and this week the monsoon weather may provide some needed moisture. We just hope not with lightning strikes, as things have been really dried up in the fields. And now back to the news.
According to the Durango Herald, new research gives some biological clues to why women may be more likely than men to develop Alzheimer's disease, and how this most common form of dementia varies by sex. At the Alzheimer's Association International Conference in Los Angeles on Tuesday, scientists offered evidence that the disease may spread differently in the brains of women than in men. Other researchers showed that several newly identified genes seem related to the disease risk by sex. 2/3 of Alzheimer's cases in the U.S. are in women, and it's not just because we live longer, said Maria Carrillo, the association's chief science officer. There's also a biological underpinning for sex differences in the disease, she said. Some previous studies suggest that women at any age are more likely than men to develop Alzheimer's. Scientists also know that a gene called APOE4 seems to raise risk more for women than for men in certain age groups. At the same time, women with the disease in its early stages may go undiagnosed because they tend to do better on verbal tests than men, which masks Alzheimer's damage. The new studies add more evidence and potential explanations for suspected variations between how men and women develop the disease. Vanderbilt University researchers found differences in how tau, a protein that forms tangles that destroy nerve cells, spreads in the brains of women compared to men. Using scans on 301 people with normal thinking skills and 161 others with mild impairment, they mapped where tau was deposited and correlated it with nerve networks highways that brain signals follow. They found that tau networks in women with mild impairment were more diffuse and spread out than in men, suggesting that more areas of the brain were affected.
As reported by the Journal, a Dove Creek man who tried and failed to cross the Dolores River in a Jeep at high water last month will likely not face any charges or citations, according to the Bureau of Land Management. Rodney Thompson, age 55, made his attempt June 29th near Tree Frog Canyon, a few miles upstream of the Slick Rock access point. The Jeep, however, was unable to make it to the other side of the river, which was flowing about 1,400 cubic feet per second. The vehicle made it a little more than halfway before losing traction. It was then swept downstream and stuck in the river for 2 weeks. In the process of becoming stuck in the river, multiple items spilled out of the vehicle into the river, including gas and other fluids, said Tyler Faust, a law enforcement ranger for the BLM. Witnesses also reported other members of Thompson's groups in Jeeps and four-wheel drives damaging the banks of the river trying to rescue him, note which would occur as part of the process. Thompson was driving on an existing route that crosses the Dolores River, which is doable when water levels are lower, so he can't be cited for illegally traveling off-road, Faust said. Note that other vehicles had obviously made it across already. A BLM resource specialist went out to the scene to see how much damage was done to the banks of the river as Thompson's group tried to help him. Faust said the damage wasn't significant and was mostly done to willows that can recover quickly. There's nothing really to charge on that one, Faust said. The BLM could cite Thompson for littering, but officials believe the gas and other fluids had minimal impact because the river was flowing high and likely diluted any chemicals. As for the other items that spilled out, Faust said he hasn't been able to schedule a meeting with Thompson to find out what he was able to recover. Thompson recovered the Jeep from the river on July 13th once water levels receded. Doing so required off-road travel, but again, Faust said damage was minimal to the banks of the river. Quote, I really wouldn't feel comfortable charging Thompson, Faust said. Quote, more than anything, we just want to stress to people, if you're going to cross a river, make sure that it's doable.
According to the Cortez Journal, with a photo by Nick Gonzalez, there's a lot of produce at the farmer's market, but some of it would be hard to prepare without a knife. That's where Wild Mountain Forge comes in. The Mancos-based family business sharpens knives and sells hand-forged kitchen and bushcraft knives at their shop and at the market, said bladesmith Dave Root. The business has been in Mancos since about mid-April, he said. Previously, Root and his family lived in Santa Fe. Root has been blacksmithing for 10 years and focusing on knives for a little over a year, he said. Unlike most Western blacksmiths, Root uses traditional Japanese bladesmithing techniques. His blades are a three-layer laminate with a high carbon core. Root's Japanese technique also differs from the Western one because he quenches his blade in water instead of oil and bevels the edges after the blade has hardened instead of while it is being forged. These both work to increase the strength and harden the blade, he said.
From the Dolores, out of Dolores, photo courtesy Dolores River Anglers Trout Unlimited. An angler concerned about discarding fishing line at Twin Spruce Ponds on Colorado Highway 145 was the force behind a new disposal site to clean up the area. During a cleanup day with the Dolores River Anglers Trout Unlimited chapter at the ponds last fall, Brandon Hill noticed fishing line was a common form of waste. After collecting handfuls of the line at the event, he found that lines commonly left at lakes and ponds in southwest Colorado can take 500 years for monofilament line to biodegrade. In the meantime, it can kill fish, birds, and other wildlife. Fluorocarbon line used for fly fishing requires thousands of years to biodegrade. Quote, it just made me realize that we should be thinking about this, he said. In July, Hill began working with his Trout Unlimited chapter and Colorado Parks and Wildlife and installed a collection site. It can be easy to just cut a tangled fishing line and leave it, but anglers at Twin Spruce have been using the collection site, he said. He wants to see the recycling sites spread across the region. Hill is still trying to find a company that will accept the line for recycling, but he doesn't expect that will be a problem. The next collection site could be at Summit Reservoir on Colorado 184. Quote, I think everybody seems to be really on board with this idea, he said.
In a U.S. News and World Report ranking of Colorado's best public high schools, reported by the Cortez Journal, Durango High School came in 66th and Bayfield High School was 79th, based on factors such as test scores and graduation rates. Montezuma-Cortez made the cut for the state's top 100 schools at number 100. The report ranked 272 of the 513 public high schools in the state using data from the 2017-18 school year. Dolores and Mancos high schools were unranked. DHS Principal John Horrell said to his knowledge this is the first time the school has been ranked by the report, and it is a reflection of the school's emphasis on academic rigor over the last 3 years. The report ranks schools in part on the percentage of seniors who took at least one advanced placement class and passed at least one AP exam. If students pass their AP exams, they can earn college credit.
And today's High Canyon Country happenings. This Friday night is the Relay Under the Stars on July 26th from 6 to 10 p.m. Support the Dove Creek area community with Stud at the Dove Creek High School football field for the annual Relay Under the Stars, which raises monies to benefit local families in need. There will be fun family games, great food, and though not enough people signed up for the first lip sync battle, there may be some demonstrations. Entry fee for a team of 10 to 15 people is $300, or individuals can enter at $20, and they'll pair you up with others that attend. Dinner is provided. For more information and details, contact Amber Hickman, 970-769-4989, or call Christy Chad at the Town Recreation Department at 970-677-2224. Music will be played by local DJ Plus Ultra and Bunnyhead. And Saturday night, July 27th, from Saturday morning on July 27th, 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. is the Egner Community Meeting about wildfire mitigation and preparedness. It's a free event open to the public. Come and learn about wildfire risk programs and funding available to you to help you mitigate wildfire risks. Find out key things to know about how to prepare for a wildfire event. Come out at 9 o'clock for a pancake breakfast at the Egner Fire Department at 5634 County Road H.1 in Egner. And as part of the 60th Annual Mancus Days Festival that happens this weekend, July 27th, the parade will start with registration and lineup at 9 a.m. on Spruce Street. The parade will start at 10 a.m. running down Grand Avenue. They've combined the kiddie parade with the big parade this year. Start the day with a pancake breakfast to support local Girl Scouts, and then continue the day with lots of fun and games and music around the park, a run and hike event, along with a softball tournament. There is also a third annual disc golf tournament at Cottonwood Park. And all of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, original stories, and local posts. To share your event or information, you can contact by email to us at dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station 970-677-4119.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is available online on our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page on demand.
Please be sure to look us up on Facebook and join in on the news of our area. And of course, please share that with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.